Are we on? Is that you, Jim?
Testing.
Testing.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I can't hear me.
You can't?
That's a good thing.
Such is life. Okay, so you can't hear yourself.
I don't think so.
Our radio show always starts kind of like this, where there's something technical that's going on that's a little odd. All right, so I'm going to check your cable.
I have 180 channels on my cable, and none of them are any good.
Really? Dang it.
Nope.
Any now?
Now I don't even have you. Now, there we go.
Yeah?
It's the guy with the husky voice.
Oh, you know what the problem is?
Me?
You're just deaf.
There's that.
And you have a hat on.
Deaf.
You have to learn that when you have headphones on, wearing a hat is not always ideal. Especially earmuffs are bad.
Oh.
But can you hear now?
I can hear. That
right.
doesn't mean I'm listening.
Well, welcome, Jim DiStefano, to 11th Hour Radio. You're here sitting in for Emily Howe. Isn't that incredible?
Emily who?
Emily Howe. My co-host, my regular
I
co-host.
thought it was Emily what?
That's how it's going to go today. No, thanks for coming.
Let me check the script.
Yeah, this is awesome. No, it's great to see you over there. I'm just going to turn up my headphone a little bit because I like hearing you loud.
Who paid you to let me in here anyway?
Ha ha ha. I talked you into it somehow.
There's still time.
Yeah, well, you know why? You know why I asked you is because you said to me in a very casual conversation about a week ago on Facebook that you were sort of interested in possibly being a DJ on this station.
I did.
Yes.
I confess.
Yes. So this is your jumping into the stream of WFVR, Royalton Community Radio. Here
But
it is.
I have to talk and not just play records and advertising.
Yeah, that's the fun part. The fun part's talking.
You have to excuse my voice. I do have the flu.
You have the flu? Why is everybody always sick when they come here?
That's a mental thing, too.
Yeah.
No, on top of the flu, I have the naturally husky voice. A friend of mine once said my voice was so husky you could pull a dog sled.
Wow. You know, that reminds me of something. That reminds me that I read a story today that 200 pounds of Xanax came over the border. Somebody was smuggling it in on Wednesday, trying to, up in Newport, and they got caught. But they were using a dog sled. So, people, this is my recommendation. Don't try to bring your Xanax across the border on a dog sled.
Don't let the dogs eat it either.
Yeah, even on a good day, it's just not going to work. It's not going to fly. We get this great border patrol, that's really on the case. So, anyway, you look good. You look great. Look at me. Look up at me.
What? She is lying.
No, I'm so glad to have you here. So, let's see. Did I press all my buttons right? I'm going to stop.
You're pressing mine.
Yeah, good.
Ba-da-boom.
Yeah. So, I did have a question to ask you, Jim.
Okay, just one?
Well,
this is going to be quick.
Yeah, no, I have a few questions to ask you. One is, I met you just this year, and so I don't know why your nickname is Cajun Jim.
We don't have enough time for that story.
I think we do, actually. We have a whole hour, so...
It's kind of a silly story. It goes back to about 1985. When I first came to Vermont, I decided to indoctrinate myself in the local culture, which meant moving off grid into a one-room cabin and just hanging out with the locals. And we're talking about the multi-generation Vermonters. And one guy said, well, why don't you have everyone up to your cabin during deer season? It's a good way to meet the guys. So I did. And I cooked 2 giant vats of chicken wings, Cajun style.
Oh, okay.
And they were all crabbing for the next couple of weeks during deer season because all their hunting clothes smelled like Cajun sauce. That's
Nice.
where it came from.
Perfect.
And to this day, there's some of those guys never knew my last name. So
Really? And people still call you that everywhere.
yes,
And now y'all know why. Have you...
that was an exciting story.
I think it was exciting. Yeah, that's when you lived out in the Chattagee, right?
Chattagee, yeah.
Yeah. And I've always wondered where that name came from, Chattagee. Do you know?
No, don't.
It sounds...
Assuming it was Native American.
Yeah,
So it was probably Abenaki.
Abenaki, according to
Yes.
Emily, the new pronunciation. Yeah. No, that's okay. We're here to practice. Abenaki. It's got a good ring to it.
Practice makes prefect.
Yeah, yeah. So the not so good news is that your house just burned down.
It did.
How are you doing?
Still standing.
Yeah, you're still standing.
It's comes and goes in waves. All this support, which has just been amazing to the point of overwhelming. It's offset the grief stuff.
Yeah,
But as it's going along, the grieving starts to set in later.
yeah. You start to realize, oh, I don't have that anymore, and this whole line of my history has sort of been obliterated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't have to clean the office now.
I guess not. No. Well, how do you start over from something like this?
Let me start with a good breakfast
Yeah.
in the morning.
Did you have friends who kind of rallied around and said, come with us?
It occurred on a Sunday night into Monday morning, a couple days prior to Christmas. We were still in the WTF mode and put out a notice on FaceCrack that we needed some help on Christmas Eve day. Less than 24 hours notice, we had at least 40 people show up.
Yep.
We set it up the night before with some 2 hard-nosed people that weren't afraid to be hard-nosed people.
Mm-hmm.
And because a lot of it's like, I don't know, for those of you who are married or had a wedding, you can't get to all the guests, and it's that double-edged sword of feeling guilty for not talking to people. So that's still been the weird thing.
Yeah, but I think people understand that. I think you've got a grace period that goes for quite a while on that score.
Yeah, and some people are telling me 5 years, and they're just suckers for that. But yeah, there is, and so 40 people show up and just kick butt. I mean, there wasn't a lot left. There was a lot of stuff in the basement that may or may not be salvageable, but it was really important to get it out of there for any number of reasons, including we're trying to inventory everything. We're lucky enough we upped our insurance because it was the farm business as well as the house.
Yep.
And so we're good with the coverage, we think.
Good. And you guys, as farmers, you are known for what? Chickens? Eggs?
Farming.
Yeah, well, I just met you, so I don't know. I don't have all the details of what your farming business.
I'm a bad guest.
You're doing fine.
Very bad guest.
I'm just going to keep asking really stupid questions.
No, we were known for egg. Well, for a long time, we've brought eggs to the co-op, but then we were raising pigs, meat birds, chickens, and turkeys. A lot of that reason was we knew the soil was for lacking, and we were just trying to get as much manure generated as possible.
Oh, I get it. Yep.
And it's a high value, protein, selling protein versus doing dairy or anything, and it worked out pretty good.
Yeah.
In fact, we're just pretty much sold out of pork now. We had a lot. We lost a lot.
So you had a lot in storage?
Well, I had just finished consolidating from 6 freezers into 3. And the 2 that were in the garage are gone. That was all our personal stuff. Lost about 300 pounds of pork, give or take. And this was the one year we got our tomato and pepper harvest done. Molly really took that on. I was out west. We had put by about 60, 80 quarts of sauces, ratatouilles, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's a heck of a lot of work.
But there was venison that was gone, a bear. There was a chicken killing bear we had to
dispatch.
Dispatch. But we're fine as far as any of that. Like I have the donations in the outpouring. Like I swear I have a better wardrobe now than I did.
Okay.
Except for the boots, that was a tough one. But yeah. I can go out and be styling now. I have real coats that aren't covered in road salt.
Awesome.
And chicken poop.
Yeah. I bet there's some unexpected things like that not exactly welcome, but, take you off on a new direction.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, all right. Stuff happens. I would have used the other word, but I can't because we're on the radio.
Poop poop.
Yeah. Right. All right. Well, this was kind of a crazy week for people passing away, wasn't it? To continue on in an uplifting topic. But I did want to know what you thought of David Bowie.
Wow, that made a lot of noise.
That's good. Radio, you can make fun noises.
Well, I've been around long enough to see most of the phases of David Bowie.
Yeah? Were you a fan? Did you pay attention to David Bowie?
I did. Not obsessively or not strictly like some of the other favorite bands, but I got more involved with watching him for what he really was when I was in school, going in the art curriculum, because there were a lot of students that they were full spectrum Bowie fans, and that was in the 80s.
Meaning?
Well, the whole stage performance and the acting and the I can't remember the names.
Spectacle.
The spectacle, where you had the live performers doing the pantomime and the avant-garde and surreal art on the stage while he was performing.
Okay.
That's when I really got interested.
I see.
As a kid, it was just on the radio. And so the music I liked, but not overwhelmingly. But once I got exposed to the visuals,
I
kind of got it.
I'm figuring all that out now. And because for whatever reason, I was never a fan. I never paid much notice to him. And that's has nothing to do with his music. It's just that you kind of... Well, at certain times in my life, I haven't really listened to much music, popular music. So, but now that he died, people are sending me videos, and I'm just amazed at him.
Yeah.
And partly what I'm amazed at is what kind of a person he seemed to be. When I watch interviews and just seeing him on stage, he was so completely in his element. He was so happy. He was, just sharing this goodwill to people and having so much fun acting and singing. And it's a kind of a talent. It wasn't that he was such a, you wouldn't go, oh, David Bowie, he was an awesome singer, although he was in his own way. But it's not that he had fantastic vocal cords. It was the whole spirit behind the way he did what he did, singing wise. Anyway, so I'm enjoying now getting to know David Bowie, but I'm a little sad that he's gone. I guess I'll never meet him, at least not in this life.
Correct.
Yeah.
And I've been exposed to a better part of him through another group of people I've met just this year, the band Coquette and their family.
Yeah.
One of the three persons in the band, that's his main influence.
Really?
To the point where they were Friday night and Saturday night while they were recording their latest EP or whatever they're doing. They were in Bowie makeup on his 69th birthday and celebrating the release of the new recording. And then Sunday night at Sweet Melissa's, the father, Jeff Tolbert, who teaches at Sharon Academy, sang, the Major Tom song unknowingly.
Really? That David Bowie had died. There's a lot of that kind of thing that happened this week. It's been a strange week, kind of a psychic week of synchronicity. But so my daughter said to me, this shows my ignorance. She said, "Yeah, David Bowie, didn't he do that Major Tom song?" And so I said, No, I don't think that was him. I think that was Harry Chapin. That's what I said. So I'm just brilliant, but I'm learning. I'm catching up. It's great because people know me for music. So when some music figure dies, they send me all kinds of links, and I get a catch up, like a course on that person.
I'll remember that.
Yeah, please. That's how I learn. I have a friend in British Columbia who's especially good at picking out videos for me. He picked out 2 excellent videos of David Bowie. One was doing Heroes from a Paris performance, and since he's watched a lot of them, he said this is really the best performance of this particular song, and you should watch this. And also, what is it, Iggy Stardust?
Yes.
So it's been pretty amazing. How amazing is it that you can sit in your house in front of a computer and just have access to these incredible stage performances that people have done, 15 years ago, 40 years ago.
I'm trying to figure out of course everything's new to me now, including this new, I call them, it's a picture phone. Because I had an iPhone, now I have one of these Droid things. So the learning curve is, I'm techno challenged. But so it's been more interesting trying to access all this stuff because I end up accessing more than I bargained for.
That's kind of the problem, is how to filter.
Yeah, and shut it off. But I'm forcing myself to do the artwork and to read every night and to shut the thing off.
Yeah, I hear you. I know. But we are social animals. I realize that about Facebook for me, because otherwise I would probably be a hopeless recluse in the hills. And Facebook, kind of helps me acknowledge that I'm part of a community and care about other people. I mean, I can actively care for people. If I really need to, I'm just going to hop in the car and go do something for somebody or with somebody, and that's thanks to social media.
Yeah, it can be a trap. The first week or 10 days after the fire, I was up at the farm pretty much all day, every day, just trying to coordinate and organize. And mentally, that was probably not the healthiest thing. I was speaking more dog speak than I was human speak.
Yeah.
But we slowly picked through the remains of the building house, which at some point has to be taken down. We're still working on that. But I thought a lot of stuff burned up. But my iPhone was in some pants that got soaked before they burned.
Oh, look at that.
So it came out of the fire.
Wow.
And it still works. Believe it or not.
Yeah.
And it's smashed. It's kind of covered with soot, or it was, and has some ripplings from heat.
Yeah.
So I hope to make $1 million off of Mac company.
Yeah.
They can film this on a commercial.
Yeah. That's good.
That or Powerball.
What is it with Powerball this week? Why is everybody talking about it? Is it just a scheme for people to buy more tickets? That's what I figured. Because it was all over Facebook, and I thought, what's going on here? Is this just a big advertising ploy to get people to spend yet more money on useless?
If only the same amount of people would actually vote.
Yeah, or give that money to Bernie Sanders.
Yes. Or some guy living under a bridge.
Consider it. The next time that you go to buy a lottery ticket, I know you probably don't buy them. I don't buy them. But a lot of people I know buy them. Take that money, send it to your candidate. Little free advice from WFVR. No, I'm not speaking for the station. I just... All right, I got to keep my eye on the time. Can you see? Oh, that clock's not functional, is it?
11:20.
Oh, good. It's time for track and music.
It's 11:20 on your radio dial.
See how good you are? All right, so it's 20 after. It's time for our first track of music. I tried to pick music, Jim, that is uncopyrighted or something that was just put together casually in my studio so that we don't incur, well, of course, the station pays its dues to the big performance royalty organizations, but still...
I'm all about breaking the law. Too bad.
Yeah, well, what happens, though, is when we turn this into a podcast, then it could become libel. So I got to be careful. So I got some cool stuff anyway. That was all a preface to the fact that I'm going to play a track here called I Can Dream. Let me cue it up. I'm still struggling with the iPad technology. It just is not as user-friendly, say, as my other Macintosh devices. So let's see. I got to back it up, stop it. I got to press that button. All right, I Can Dream. This is Don't Call Betty.
I can dream that I can see you in front of me. But you won't give yourself away now to rescue me. I spent the night on the kitchen floor watching all the spiders weave their webs. Imagine things that look so big. You're a spider in my head. 'Cause I enjoy the way things work inside my mind, even though you think I'm crazy. But you should try it for a while and you will see my state of mind's worth saving. I can't live, I can't survive under the water for all this time. I think we'll come up for air, maybe breathe a while. I wanna live behind the box, watch the tubes glow, red and blue. Maybe walk across the sky, meeting all the Learjets and those inside. 'Cause I enjoy the way things work inside my mind, even though you think I'm crazy. But you should try it for a while and you will see my state of mind's worth saving. There's no time to say goodbye, I'm in a hurry, don't you cry. I'm off to fight, I'm on my journey, putting down the evil forces with sword in hand. The worm's finally met his match, wish he never turned. Because I've won the battle now, they'll write legends about how I can dream. enjoy the way things work inside my mind, even though you think I'm crazy. But you should try it for a while and you will see my state of mind's worth saving. Work inside my mind, even though you think I'm crazy. But you should try it for a while and you will see my state of mind's worth saving. I enjoy the way things work inside my mind, even though you think I'm crazy.
All right, that's Don't Call Betty.
Okay, I won't.
This must be Newport, Vermont Day, because that band is from Newport. And we already talked about dog sleds coming over the border into Newport, didn't we?
Yes, we did. There's a dog sledder in Alaska who's from, I believe, Jamaica, who's directly connected to a former resident of Barnard as his main supporter. His name is Mushman Newton.
Whoa. And my friend Ben from Maine was married to the sister of the Iditarod, one of the main, what's her name? Oh gosh, I'm never going to remember it now.
Not Jeff King.
No, it was a woman.
No, but Jeff's wife was Jeff King's wife was from Woodstock.
Oh.
And he was one, I think he won it 3 times.
Huh.
Nancy, she was a watercolor artist.
Okay, no. This was the woman that won. I think she might have won the Iditarod. That's possible, right?
Susan.
Yeah, Susan, that's it.
Yeah.
Susan.
Last name?
Yeah, it might come to me.
Oh,
the train is so late. You hear it? Usually comes at 11.
Maybe we're on the wrong time.
Wow, are we on that? I hope well, hopefully we're okay. It's funny because it sounds so loud to us. I listened last week and I couldn't hear, when I listened to the recording of the show, I couldn't hear it at all. There it goes. There it goes.
Missed the train.
Still my beating heart. So, had my first binge watching experience. I've never really done that. I've just read about people binge watching television shows, So my daughter was home and she said, let's watch this show called Making a Murderer. Have you heard of that?
I have heard of it.
It's a documentary, but it's in
Correct.
10 episodes. So we sat down, we watched one, and we said, let's watch another. And then we got really sucked in. So we watched 5 episodes. And then we made a date for the next day to watch 5 more. And that's why I feel so crummy today. Yeah. But anyway, it's a very interesting expose of a trial that's going on, or that's been ongoing for a long, long time, about a murder. I recommend it.
So it's not decided.
It's a little inconclusive. There were certain decisions made, but I think they're trying to appeal it still.
It's still ongoing?
Yeah, kinda. People are trying to make it ongoing. These guys are sentenced to pretty serious life sentences. But on a happy note,
Quickly.
because this show, we're dealing with a lot of heavy topics, which is fine. I don't shy away from heavy topics, but I did want to tell you that I had to go to the dump last week, and I know what you're thinking. But
You do?
I didn't have the right amount of change in the house. Do you ever have that happen where, you just need like $3.50?
Correct.
and you look in all your pockets, you go everywhere, all over the house, and you cannot find just $3.50, but you have a $100 bill. So what would you do? Would you go to the dump with the $100 bill?
Don't have a lot of those laying around. I would probably throw enough empties into the truck and hit the
I should have thought
bottle
of
and
that.
can center first.
Oh, man. That's brilliant. I didn't even think of that. I took the $100 bill. So you can imagine what kind of reception I got from the guy there at the Chelsea dump. He laughed. But he came up with the change. I said, look, I can go into town. I can break this if you want me to. But he
Start
took
rumors. It. Give him a $100 bill and then go out to the used goods stable and start picking through stuff.
Exactly. Well, you know what the kicker of the story is, it wasn't my money. It was my daughter's. I'd been cleaning up and I found this $100 bill in her stuff.
All the more reason to spend it.
I confessed to my crime shortly thereafter.
House money. I have a $100 bill story.
Yeah?
I think it was the day after. It was either Monday or Tuesday after the fire. I call this the Viola story. This little red car pulled up. I think it was a Geo Prism or something. And kind of I'm trying to describe her. She was very countrified looking. Not a full set of teeth. Rather short and round. And she just pulled up at the end of the driveway and came briskly walking down and asked who the owner was, and I was right there. And she had a crisp folded $100 bill, which she sort of forcibly pressed into my hand.
Wow.
And it wasn't leaving, and I tried to give it back.
Yeah.
That was the first time of the whole experience that someone was doing that.
That's got to be kind of hard.
It was kind of, awkward. And she told me that under no certain circumstances, she was not leaving with the 100.
Yeah.
And I asked her name, and she begrudgingly gave up her first name,
Mm-hmm.
and she would not give her last name.
Yeah.
She drove away. She had New Hampshire plates. I have no idea who it was, except for her name was Viola.
That's great. I like that. I like that story.
And it people have come up to me, and handed me 5s and 20s, and sometimes I know who they are, and they can't afford it. And we've already gotten a certain amount. It's like, is it an insult?
Well,
there's not a book, by the way.
Yeah. And it really doesn't have that much to do with you except your side of it. But if people want to give you money, it's their business in a way, right?
Yes. Well, I thought about with the experience, and I have been taking notes to do the Dummies Guide.
Mm-hmm.
Dummies Guide.
That's a good idea.
Your house burns down.
Yep.
A limited audience, I hope. It's like we don't actually want people to have to buy the book.
Well, think of the, those books, the emergency survival manuals and so on. Most of us will not encounter an alligator in our lifetime.
Right.
Or an angry alligator.
Not up here.
No.
Unless it's in the John.
True.
That someone tried to flush.
Yeah.
And encountering that, you'd probably not see it first.
Right.
If you get my
You've
drift.
thought this through.
Yeah, obsessively.
Yeah.
Like what to do if.
Okay.
One of those gator phobia.
Okay, yeah.
But crocodiles, no problem.
Frogs are okay.
Sure.
Somebody on Facebook was talking about finding a frog in their toilet.
I found a frog on the sidewalk.
Okay, good.
And I'm walking by and there's a frog this summer. And it said, hey, mister. I bend down. Frog's like, pick me up. Kiss me. I'll turn into a gorgeous princess. I picked the frog up and stuck it in my pocket, kept walking. And in the little muffled voice, the frog's like, what are you doing? I could kiss me, I'll turn into a gorgeous princess. And I said, hey, my point in life, my age, I'd rather have a talking frog.
I like that.
It's G-rated. And we're on G-rated radio.
Yeah, no, that's how
South Royalton Community Radio.
Yeah.
We're all about the G.
That's right. That's how we hang it here. But you were talking about something when I interrupted you. We were talking about the guide, Dummy's Guide to When Your House Burns Down.
The protocol stuff is very important.
Yes.
And there are vultures out there who want to come in and take your copper. And
really?
Yeah, the first couple of days it was just off-putting to see all the new fresh tracks, and we eventually figured out who most of them were. But just that's one of the things.
That reminds me of when I had a car accident up, that rotary in Eastbury. It's a
Yes.
site of many an accident.
Yes.
Anyway, I was one of those people who had an accident up there. I wasn't hurt. I got out of the car to go check on the other driver. I basically took a left turn at a very inopportune moment, and another car hit me. Within, I'd say, the first 5 minutes, a guy with an auto body shop just up the street was already handing me his card. So that's the way it is, I guess.
How did you take a left turn into a rotary?
No, I had just come through the rotary. If I'd been on the it was actually pre-rotary. The rotary wasn't there yet, and so that's one of the reasons they put the rotary in, was because that is one of the places in Vermont that's had the most accidents. And my accident was totally caused by me, by driver error. And that's what's so strange. It almost made me feel like there was energy in that area for accidents,
Right.
A little woo-woo.
You were busy texting at the time. There should be a rotary here.
No, I didn't even have one of those phones yet.
That's how you can tell how old you are. Well, actually, I'm pre-rotary.
Yeah. No, I'm actually rotary phone.
Pre-rotary phone.
I still have a rotary phone, a red one, like a bat phone.
Does it light up?
Well, none of the plugs fitted anymore because they changed all the plugs into phones. So rotary phones, there must be an adapter. I'd like to find one because I really like the phone. It's very scenic.
I do have them, I think.
Yeah.
I still have a paper cup and a string. But
you do?
Yeah.
Not a tin can? You think the paper works better?
It depends on the grade of paper, really.
Okay. All right.
It's all about the little diaphragm action.
All right. I hear you.
Don't take.
I hear you. Get it? Ooh, this is bad. So Emily, even though she's not here today, she did have something to offer. She doesn't know that she offered this, but I stole it off her Facebook page. One of her posts was that she had just heard on VPR that it was far more likely to be killed by a vending machine than to win the lottery.
I saw that this morning.
Yeah. I don't know.
There's a quip that there's no vending machines, so we can all rest easy.
There's always a vending machine in the basement of educational institution. Vermont College had one, and my kids found it.
They topple it over.
I used to just go hang out down there next to it.
What's the correlation then between vending machine deaths and people trying to abscond with said goods in vending machine versus it just falling over on its own accord?
Yeah, I don't quite understand how you would be attacked by a vending machine. I didn't think it through that well. I just liked what she had said because it's absurd. But if we do stop to think about it and analyze it, I think we're going to come up short.
Right. Well, if your arm is halfway up in there,
yeah,
grabbing for the Snickers,
sure,
and somebody startles you and you jump back and it can come over on you.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Right.
Crushed by a vending machine. Right. Okay, that makes sense.
That's just not. You don't want that on your tombstone.
No, crushed by
vending machine. Or even worse, you survive and you're in the hospital.
Ooh.
What are you in for? I pulled a vending machine.
Yeah, vending machine injury.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's pretty uncommon, I think. I guess that's
more
the point.
More common than winning.
More common.
Powered balls.
Which is to say, don't waste your money. Send it to your favorite candidate.
I call it powered balls.
You do?
Yes.
Yeah.
Not powdered. What could be powdered balls?
Yeah.
Well, if they were crushed by a vending machine.
I don't want to think about that too much. I just don't. There's other stuff. What time is it since you're the clock keeper?
Time for you to get a watch.
Yeah, no.
20 of.
I have a phone that has
20 of 3, actually.
Is something wrong with your watch?
No.
Okay. Well, as long as you can read it, because I think you're right. I think it is 20 of.
Yes.
And so it's time to play another track of music.
Not an advertisement?
I told you before that I was a slacker DJ, so I don't usually announce the sponsors. But I like them. I like the sponsors. They're all cool. And so if you're a sponsor and you can hear me talking, I like you. That's about as good as it gets.
But you're not going to mention their names.
I don't know.
You can't, no.
It's too hard. I'm a slacker DJ. Okay. This song is called My Girlfriend's Mad at Me. This is a Julie James track recorded at my studio, and it has a great performance by Sauce Ross on it. Let's see. All right. I'm going to cue it up before I do anything. All right, is it queued up? Let's give it a try.
She told me when climbing high, just don't look down. Afraid and paralyzed, you cannot move. I'm starting to see that what she says is true. Feelings are messy, make a broken heart. So far to fall, I don't know where to start. I'm treating her dishonestly. My girlfriend's mad at me. She says she wants to know what's going on. Each time we get it on back together, I can be as fickle as the weather.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are perfect when it's good, but when you fight, what is up with that?
Oh, it hurts my feelings. Oh, it makes me sad. I'm sick and tired of feeling bad. I don't know what to tell her. Wanna figure it out. But instead I sit and cry or turn and pout.
You're coming to me with your problems. You're coming and talking to me. Why don't you talk to your girl? It would be hard to talk to her. I mean, like, don't give me that excuse. That's lame. But she always gets so mad, and then we get caught up in this big fight about nothing. And I don't, what does she want from me? That's a good question.
My therapist asked me
Same old story.
how it is that I am acting out.
You don't act out.
The way my family interacted
Sad.
with the one who is my lover now.
Okay, I don't know, what is this? Like, they always want to, like, get back to, how I grew up, and it's somebody's fault, or I didn't process, or what, I don't even get it.
My girlfriend's mad at me. My girlfriend's mad at me.
Get a life.
She says I'm treating her dishonestly.
For real. This again. Oh my god, this again. I'm giving you so much
She
advice.
says
I'm
she
stuck
wants
over
to
and
know
over again.
what's going
I
on.
want to know what's going on. I mean,
Each time we
I
get
understand, I
it
don't
all
get it.
back
Like, all the time. Okay, look, I am sick of this
I
argument.
can be
I'm
as
sick of this
fickle
conversation.
as
Same argument every time. What is wrong with you? What is going on here? Y'all fight so much.
my girlfriend's mad at me.
Yeah, you don't even have a response to that because you don't even know what's wrong. You don't talk enough. What? I don't have anything to say. Like, I'm sad. So now you're mad at me too? I mean, I'm just stating facts here. I'm just trying to say it out. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Like, don't be sorry. Fix it.
That was it. My Girlfriend's Mad at Me by Julie James. Thank you, Julie.
Well, if I had a girlfriend, I'm sure she'd be mad at me.
Well, I read this great interview.
All three of them.
Yeah. I read an interview with Isabel Allende on an online magazine called Lenny. Anyway, one interesting thing that she said was that she felt that there was no unconditional love in marriage. I've been pondering that. She said you can have unconditional love with your friends, with your pets, etc., but not with your married partner. Because you want stuff.
Yeah.
You want stuff. You want the physical stuff. You want the emotional stuff.
Well,
if you don't get it...
2 weeks ago, I would probably have agreed with that.
Yeah, but...
There's been moments where it's there. Because there's a lot of, either guilt or responsibility or whatever, what have you. Like, how did this happen? It was an accident. But that's what goes on the first couple hours after. Just don't even go there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well, that's true probably of any major traumatic event or accident, that there's a lot of rethinking that you can do if you let your mind digress in that direction.
Yeah.
The why question. Yeah. But, it's not really where it's at. You got to move forward.
I've learned over the last few weeks, the important thing is there's certain triggers that will just wreck your day.
Yeah.
And at least in my case, some in Molly's, you kind of quickly figure out a lot of what those are. Yeah. And it's just like, put those away. Just don't go there.
Good. That takes a lot of discipline, really, mental discipline.
A lot of it has to do with, I've been just looking at pictures of the dogs. Like I can look at 1,000 pictures of the burned up house and what's left of it, but I can't very comfortably look at the pre-fire pictures.
Yeah.
Because then you realize,
yeah. Yeah, that's, yeah. Mm-hmm. And your dogs, that's your family that survived.
Yeah.
I mean, besides you and your wife, obviously, but yeah, I'm enjoying seeing those pictures of your dogs.
Oh, there's more.
Yeah. I won't grow tired of seeing your dogs.
And there's certain exercises that you have to make sure the other person's involved. We basically, in our mind's eye, before it goes away, are walking ourselves in our mental eye of everything that was in every room and itemizing. And it's not recommended you do that alone.
Okay.
I've done it a few times, and you just gotta stop.
Yeah.
But with two people, it's almost like a board game.
A game of memory.
Yeah, we did it. We went back and forth to my parents a couple hours away, and we did it both ways, sitting in the car. We got more done in those 4 hours than we had, because we still have to go through the whole. Yeah, and did
you write it down?
Yeah, we have lists.
Yeah.
Lists and lists.
Do you have to do that for the insurance company as well as just for your own?
Again, the reason we went through the co-op, and can I say that on air? The wonderful insurance company. We had separate coverage on buildings and houses and contents, and because it was also a business, it was a mini farm policy.
Yeah.
And we decided to kick it up a notch to really cover everything, because we've been operating without a net. There's no rich aunt or anything out there for us.
Yeah.
So we had to, we put all the eggs in one basket.
Mm-hmm.
We were thinking that was one of those silly names back in the day. All in one basket farm. But anyway.
That's a cool name.
But that's given us a lot of comfort, because they're doing replacement insurance on everything. And
good. They should.
The agents don't even just use even your sock drawer. Like literally.
Really?
How many pairs of socks did you have? So everything. Maybe not every piece of cereal. No, we didn't have any.
Yeah.
But, things that... It's kind of weird. Over the last couple of years, we both have been talking about simplifying. And we moved into the place 5 years ago. We have the basement area we call the scaria, where we did. It's because it was the scariest area.
Oh, yeah.
And there were boxes that, hadn't got unpacked in 5 years.
Yeah.
So now we're thinking, don't have to unpack them now.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's kind of a cleansing.
Yeah.
So that's one of the big silver linings.
Yeah. I think that's, well, go ahead.
Well, the crazy clothing thing, too. We could have opened up a Goodwill store.
Mm-hmm.
We just keep paying everything forward.
Yeah, this year has been a time for me, of getting rid of stuff. I've been taking time every single week to go through some corner of the house and get rid of stuff and really bring it down to the basics.
It was two or 3 years ago, a person had started on this kind of experiment. And it was based on having just 100 things. I think he gave up on it eventually. But he tried for a year or so. He pared down to 100 items.
100.
And that included everything like from dental floss and toothbrush.
What about, would you count something like your refrigerator?
He counted everything.
Everything you own that's
Pretty
yours,
much,
your
yes.
things.
Anything that could be moved to another location, he counted as a thing. I'm not sure about the fridge because you could,
You could leave it. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Cockroaches, they weren't on the list.
No.
Because you don't own them.
No, you don't. And you don't want to take them with you.
No.
No.
Well, maybe the better breeding pairs, but not all of them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You don't know how to fix plows, do you? Do you?
Snow plows?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Because my plow, haven't had to use it a whole lot this winter yet, but this is a weird thing. Just pretend we're on car talk for a minute.
We're on
Plow talk. That's a great idea. We could have a show called Plow Talk.
You could play Holy Plow in the background.
Yes, that's it.
Holy Plow Talk.
I knew we named that band for a reason.
Right.
Yeah.
Not a plow with holes in it, though.
When I had that band, I don't think I had a plow yet. Anyway, so I get in the truck. You got to pick the plow up, right? And it goes to the right and it goes to the left. It's a straight plow. It's not a V plow. Right. So I get in. For the first 5 minutes, it works fine. And then all of a sudden, it just won't go to one side. It just goes to one side and it stays there. It'll still go up and down, but it won't go right and left. But that's after 5 minutes, and it keeps happening repeatedly.
So it's either right or left?
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's consistent that way.
Could have been. It sounds like a political influence on your plow.
Thanks, you're helpful. That's really helping me. Okay, moving right along.
I know a couple welders, but that doesn't sound like a welding issue.
Yeah, it's just, well, at least I don't have chains on the truck yet, so I could actually drive it somewhere. So once you put the chains on, you're kind of stuck. You don't want to, you can't go into town. I mean, I did it once last year. We had so much snow, so on a really blizzardy day, I actually did drive the truck down to town. That was kind of cool to be one of the guys driving around town with a snowplow. Right. I like that.
I drove around years ago with a guy that plowed and had chains. And he wore a mouth guard.
Why?
Because his teeth were just rattling. I mean, 6 hours of your teeth rattling from the chains on hardtop.
Oh,
plow
sure.
Tip.
Okay, little plow tip. Yeah, my friend up in Peacham, she got a new plow this year. She's got the V plow, which sounds really fancy. She needs it because she's got a driveway it's about a half a mile long, and it blows. It's got cow pasture on one side, so very windy, very drifty. But she's rocking that plow. So I'm part of a club.
Go ahead, you're on Plow Talk.
That's good. That's good. So we have a few more minutes here on 11th Hour Radio. It's been great to have you, Jim, and I hope you come back.
I've enjoyed being had.
Oh, okay. I'll remember that. Let's see. What else can I tell you about just before we go? I did want to tell you that I had this incredible revelation this week, just huge. And it all came about because my daughter called me. She knew I was up in Barrie, and she called me to ask me if I could go and find some containers, little tiny jars that she could put salve in because she was making some herbal salve. Of course, I said yes, but I had no idea in Barrie where to go. So I sat in the car for a while, just pondering this issue. So I said, well, I'll go to Resource first. I went over there, recycled stuff. They had everything except jars. They do not have jars there. Then I thought I was going to Joann Fabrics up at the Berlin Mall. But of course, when I got there, they had moved. Now you're wondering what this incredible revelation is. And I'll just cut to the chase. I went to Walmart. I never go to Walmart, but I was desperate at this point. So I went into Walmart and I went to the right. And there was a grocery store in Walmart.
Everything's in Walmart.
I could not believe it. I was so shocked. I was like, what?
Including your 80-year-old greeter parents.
Yeah.
Everything is in Walmart.
Oh,
except me.
I was so shocked. I kind of wanted to walk down the aisles just to see what it felt like to be in Walmart at the supermarket at the same time. It's like the collision of two things that just shouldn't fit together. It's like when you go to Rite Aid and there's food. It's wrong.
Everywhere.
It's just wrong. It's it's the whole thing. I think that eventually we're going to have big indoor farmers markets, and the whole concept of the processed food stores is going to be reduced. Instead of having these big mega markets that are filled with processed food, which is so freaky and weird, those are going to be specialty stores, and the real food is going to be sold in these beautiful indoor malls.
It's happening already. I guess.
Yeah.
I've seen some. The Europeans have it going on.
I bet they do.
I just read an article somewhere on that. Probably on the interweb. Because you can find anything on the interweb.
On the interweb, yeah. I know. It's a really cool place to go hang out.
That's why I say interweb and I say picture phone. Because I want to set the bar of expectations really low.
I like that.
Well, you can learn a lot more.
What do you mean?
Well, if people think you're a little daft.
They'd explain stuff to you?
Yeah, they explain it real good.
Yeah. So tell me about my picture phone. I don't quite understand.
Button? Does it turn on like this?
Yeah.
And I turn it upside down and it spins around. It follows me.
Yeah.
Like a compass.
That's right.
But if I lay down, it doesn't go to the other side of the phone.
It doesn't turn itself over.
Right.
Like that would be kind of cool if it would just jump over.
Screen on both sides, right.
Someday it will if you just give it a verbal command. It might walk across the room.
Someday it's going to be an implant.
No kidding. No kidding. That's totally true. It's going to be.
No, there's some things I like. I won't use the GPS thing. Because I don't want to know where I am.
What, if you were driving to New York or something, you wouldn't use it?
No, I'm a paper map person.
No, you're not anymore.
Yes, I
Go
am.
to New Jersey. No, you're going to get lost. You're going to...
If I'm in New Jersey,
yeah,
the odds that I'm lost are pretty high anyway. Oh. If I've accidentally stumbled into New Jersey,
yeah,
that means I'm
by accident. You're probably trying to get to New York
or Maryland or point south.
I see your point.
Right,
that's a good point.
It's like, but that's why they have those Jersey barriers to make sure you don't drift into New Jersey. You stay on the road. Stay on the road. Don't go off to. Boy, maybe if you said something about next week, remind me to tell you the Dom Balducci story.
Okay.
Someday.
Dom sounds Italian.
Dom Balducci. Yeah, it's a vortex story.
Vortex?
Yeah.
The vortex?
The vortex of Dom Balducci at the Cherry Hill exit.
Wow. We're going to leave you with that thought.
You know how you keep silly people in suspense?
Yeah. No.
I'll tell you next week. Boom.
All right. So we're going to go out on a track of music. You've been listening to 11th Hour Radio on WFER, Royalton Community Radio. I'm Kristina Stykos, and I've been here with Jim DiStefano.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I can see the sky above, desert here below. Feel the life run out of me. I'm not ready yet to go. Come and sit here by my side and see what they have done. You are not my enemy, and I am not their pawn. And all I need from you is my salvation. Throw my ashes to this desert wind. Keep my shoes near this worn out soul. I may be back this way again. I can see that you haven't been on the other side of wrong. In this war there is no sin that cannot be undone. Come and sit here by my side and sing your desert song. I am not your enemy, and you are not their pawn. And all I need from you is my salvation. Throw my ashes to this desert wind. Keep my shoes near this worn out soul. I may be back this way again. Throw my ashes to this desert wind. Keep my shoes near this worn out soul. I may be back this way again. Tell my mama that I died here cradled in your arms. Tell my daddy I've been saved by the ghost of Babylon. Come and sing your desert song and rock me through this night. You are not my enemy, and this is not a fight. And all I need from you is my salvation. Throw my ashes to this desert wind. Keep my shoes near this worn out soul. I'm